Okay, welcome back everyone to part 4 of the coffee cup using the revolve and the sweep commands. In part 3 we completed the path for the handle. We want to go ahead and apply the profile sketch so that we can then use our sweep and give this a three-dimensional curved ending. First thing we're going to need is to have a work plane. And a good trick here when you go to add the work plane is to select the entities first. So you're going to want to select the line and then the endpoint of the line. Then we can go to the quick access toolbar and select plane, and what Onshape will do, it's really nice, will give you that angled work plane that you can then work on. And when we're up here, we're going to go ahead and rename this path so that when we go to use our sweep command, we'll know what our planes are, what our paths are, and what our profiles are. So I can select accept there, and then I'm going to want to go ahead and go back and add a new sketch to that angled path here. So not Control S, it's Shift S to add a new sketch. In on the keyboard, adds it to normal. You might want to rotate it around so that you can see it. It's entirely up to you. And from here, I'm going to want to add an ellipse. So an ellipse unfortunately doesn't have a quick key. We have to go to the quick access toolbar, and it's the third option on the drop down menu will be our ellipse. So we can add our ellipse then. If you want to drag it close and zoom in, you can. I don't recommend that you try to get it onto the endpoint at this time. We can use our geometric constraints to do that. So I'm just going to draw my ellipse out, major axis, minor axis, and it'll ask for both of those. So my major axis is 14, my minor axis is 10. And now I have my ellipse that I'm ready to make coincident to this endpoint. So quick access toolbar, use the coincident command and pick the entity you want to move. So I'm going to pick the center point of this ellipse first, then I'm going to pick the endpoint of the arc handle that I have. And now I'm going to, before I save this out, now that I have this entity, I want to change this title from Sketch 1. I want this to be titled as my profile. And from here I can accept it. So now I have my path and I have my profile for those areas. The next, or the final, not the final thing, the next or final thing is I want to go ahead and add my sweep command. So I'm going to use my sweep. And now I'm going to add this. This isn't new. I'm going to add this to an existing feature. So I'm going to make sure that I switch over to add, and I need the region that I want to sweep. So you can find your region by checking out down below with the profile. You can select them here, which is my profile, and my sweep would be my path. And you can see when you have those, it now performs that feature. And what's cool is it'll add it to only that existing component. So here, for example, the thin wall of our coffee cup, it will end it on this rotation. After I have my sweep in, I can select accept for that part. And now I'm ready to do my revolve, which will end up being a shell command that we will complete in the next video. Thanks and take care.